Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not Your Average Fangirl.
I'm your host, Addison,
I'm your host, Grace.
and this is a Fangirl's Guide to Fall.
Woohoo! We thought it would be appropriate to do a whole fall dedicated episode since it's October, it's spooky season now. In this episode, we're going to be talking all about fall shows we love, fall movies, songs, TV shows, all those things.
Everything that gives all the fall vibes.
Yay!
Let's get into it. Previously on Not Your Average Fangirl. I think I said this last week, but I am in the middle of my fall Gilmore Girls rewatch, of course.
Yes.
And I'm also rewatching Friends right now and Criminal Minds. I don't know how I ended up in the middle of so many rewatches at once, but it just kind of happened unintentionally.
It happens.
And I still have one episode left of Supernatural. That's going to be my
my
weekly
goodness.
forever.
She's gotta finish it.
I'm just incapable of it. I'm terrified. I'm so scared. You know what happened in the last episode of Vampire Diaries? Okay, I am
death.
Not risking it.
It's always the last episodes that are bad.
Yeah.
Anyways,
if I don't watch it, it doesn't happen.
Exactly. I'm also watching Gilmore Girls right now. I'm rewatching Vampire Diaries. Well, so I was watching season 5 out of nowhere, but I think tonight I'm gonna restart from beginning, and I'm kind of watching Legacies, hints of Legacies, and Teen Wolf, as well.
Yes.
All the things.
Reading right now. I'm still reading the Natural series, which I think I talked about last week. I'm on book 3 now. So good. Oh my god, I gave book 2 5 stars. It blew me away.
Ooh,
it was
that's
phenomenal.
Good.
Yes. And I'm a picky rater. A book has to be it gave me all the best feelings to get a 5 star. So
yes, I love that. I'm not reading anything per usual. If someone wants to recommend me a good book, then I'll start reading maybe. And then for music, I'm still kind of listening to the same. A lot of Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, same.
A lot of Drake, obviously. He's my favorite artist. And I've been listening to some Bad Bunny, which is kind of new for me, but I'm into the Spanish music right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely still listening to a lot of Guts, trying to learn all the songs. I listen to them in the car, the same one over and over again.
So good.
I've been trying I love Lana's music, but I for some reason ended up
Lana.
Yeah, I never end up with it on my playlist, and so I've been trying to listen to her stuff separately so I can figure out what songs I like the best and get them on my playlist.
Exactly.
So I'm working on
No,
doing
I forgot
that right
to
now.
add that I literally the other night just made a whole Lana playlist.
Her music is insane.
She's so good. I'll be talking about her later because she's amazing.
Yes. So let's start off the main part of the episode. I feel like the first and most important thing that we need to talk about is Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls for life.
Because Gilmore Girls is the fall show. It has all the fall vibes. Everything is there. And they drink coffee all the time. It's
they
unbeatable.
love some coffee.
Yes. I feel like I've been drinking
Gilmore Girls is so good.
I feel like I've been drinking coffee every morning recently because I've been watching Gilmore Girls, and it's just I drink iced coffee, not hot coffee, but I feel like it just prompts me to do that because I'm well, I'm gonna watch Gilmore Girls while I eat breakfast, so I need to have a coffee in my hand,
Exactly. I feel like that show makes you want to do the things that they're doing in the show in real life because of the aesthetic of it all, and the fall vibes in that show are so good. Everything about it,
phenomenal.
I love it.
So where are you at right now? Because I know this is your first time watching.
I'm mid season 1, I want to say, or towards the end of it. I don't know how many episodes are in season 1, but I'm moving through it. I love it. It's already one of my favorite shows, and I'm only on season 1.
So
it's amazing.
I'm on season 2 of my rewatch, but my favorite character doesn't show up until season 5. So I'm trying to blow through it because I want to get to season 5 so I can see him because I love him.
Do you think I'll like him?
I think you will. Well, see, I don't know because Rory has 3 main boyfriends and you've met one of them, but I don't know. It depends on what you think of boyfriend number 2. How you feel about him will determine who you end up liking the most.
I've met Dean right now and I love Dean, but I see people on TikTok all the time saying Dean isn't their favorite. Like, it's all split up. Like, everyone's so split up. So I don't know who I'm gonna like in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it really just depends, like, once you get further into it, because, like, I can't say very much without spoiling.
Yeah, no spoil.
Basically, it's just, like, as you watch, like, you'll, form your own opinions, because
Yeah.
everyone feels different ways about each of the 3 characters.
No, I'm excited to keep watching. Like, it's such a great show.
Okay, so I feel like the preferable fangirl fall attire is basically just inspired by Rory Gilmore. Like,
Rory.
catch me in chunky sweaters,
All
and
winter.
I will always have a book in my purse at all times in the fall, just because Rory Gilmore always has a book in her bag.
She is literally like, if fall was a person, it'd be Rory Gilmore. And like, I always
Yes.
see her outfit inspos like on my Pinterest, and like, I want to be dressing like that this fall.
Yeah. It's
Like,
the
chunky
chunky sweater
sweaters.
combo with, like, either cargo pants or, like, jeans that are straight leg or flare.
The flare, I feel like, low key.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
then, like, you
fall.
gotta have, like, Converse or Docs or, like, fluffy slippers, you know?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel like that's the
so amazing.
vibes.
Always.
Speaking of Dean and Gilmore Girls, Dean and Gilmore Girls is also Sam in Supernatural. And I feel like such a great show to be starting in October. Obviously, I will take up any excuse to talk about Supernatural, but it's the perfect October show to start, because it's like every episode they're hunting a different monster or ghost or creature of some kind, which is so spooky season, you know?
Yeah, it's
Like,
giving Halloween.
it's a great thing to be watching throughout October. And then once October's over, you'll be so hooked on the show that you'll want to finish it
You'll
anyway.
just keep watching, and you have
Yeah.
14 more seasons to get through,
Yep.
so it'll
Unless
last
you're
you
me and you have
forever.
one episode.
Yeah. You just hold off. But I'm also rewatching Vampire Diaries. Like, if you're looking for a show to watch in the fall, it's 100% Vampire Diaries. Like, that's definitely, it should be one of your options, because the first
Yes.
season, it is basically like fall. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think it starts in like October.
it's got the fall vibes plus
Yeah.
the spooky season vibes, because you got
So
the
spooky.
vampires. Like, it's great.
But I think that's definitely a show everyone should be watching this fall. If you've watched it
Yes.
already, rewatch it. It'll just give you all the fall vibes. It's perfect.
And I feel like a lot of people who like Vampire Diaries also like Teen Wolf, which is another
Yeah.
great mention for October, because, again, we've got werewolves. What is more spooky season than
It's all like
werewolves?
supernatural, and it's just giving Halloween.
And I feel like all 3 of those shows and Gilmore Girls have, like, it's almost like they have, like, a filter on the screen that, like, either makes it look more, like, grayish
Yes,
or
that's
more,
so
like,
true.
warm toned. So that definitely helps.
No, yeah. And another show that's kind of like not related to these, but is one of my favorites, is Ant Farm, but like only the Halloween episode. It's either like in the show or it's like a little movie, but like if you grew up on Disney Channel, like you know exactly what I'm talking about. And
Oh,
like the
yeah.
music in it, you have to watch that.
I feel like all of the Disney Channel Halloween episodes, like, they're just so slay.
Why are they so good? Like they knew what they were doing.
Oh,
They
100%. They're
did.
Amazing. I feel
Literally
like
so
all
good.
Disney Channel holiday episodes, like, not even just Halloween. The
They just
Christmas
kill it.
ones, like,
Christmas.
they're great.
Yes.
And this one's not really spooky season, but I feel like a great fall show that gives, like, just warm autumn vibes is Anne with an E. And it was so hard for me to get into Anne with an E the first time I watched it, because the secondhand embarrassment you receive when you watch that show is so terrible. Like, I wanted to cry. But my best friend forced me to watch it all the way through. And once you get into it, it's so good. And Gilbert is amazing. Like,
Maybe I'll
it's
start
just,
it now,
you
cause like,
should. But
I've
I'm
heard
sure I'll
mixed
receive a text
things.
from you, like, when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
15 minutes into the first episode, and you're gonna be like, "I wanna cry," because that's how it makes you feel.
That could very well happen.
But it's such a great show, and it has
Yes,
the fall vibes on point.
I just love it. Another thing I wanna add is Stranger Things.
Oh,
I know that's
yes.
some of the I know this is one for both of us. I think the first season starts off in the fall as well, or the second season, but it's, again, giving the spooky vibes, like the creatures, the monsters, whatever, like, it just
Yes.
fits so perfectly into the fall shows you should watch.
Yes, I
That's the
think
best way
so.
I could word it.
And then to go along with Supernatural, with the different episodes being about different monsters, if you don't like horror and you prefer more of a thriller, you should definitely watch Criminal Minds if you haven't already. It's basically the same thing as Supernatural, just with serial killers instead of monsters. So it's funny. I always like to describe Supernatural as, because more people have watched Criminal Minds, so I always say Supernatural is just a spooky Criminal Minds.
Yeah. That's what I've
And
heard too, so
if you like one, you'll definitely like the other two. Criminal Minds is just great. Plus
I
the
gotta get on that.
characters are fan favorites. I love all of them. So
Yeah. So now that we've talked about shows, it's time to talk about fall movies you should be watching and some of our favorites. For me, two of my like all-time favorite like fall like Halloween movies that I will be watching this year and every year from now on is Halloween Town. It's a Disney Channel movie. I feel like it's just such a classic. Like everything about it is giving fall Halloween vibes, you know?
I haven't seen it.
No way.
I feel like that's such a crime and everyone talks about it. I need to
I
watch it.
think there's like 3 of them. Watch it.
I'm gonna
You're
watch
gonna
it
love
this
it.
like within the next week. I'm gonna watch it, I promise. And then
Yes.
next week I'll update you guys on what I thought about it.
It's so good. So if you haven't watched Halloween Town and you're looking for like a fall vibe, definitely watch Halloween Town. And Invisible Sister, that's also a Disney Channel original movie, and Rowan Blanchard's in it. And it's kind of like corny, but like, you know, it's Disney Channel, but the vibes are just Halloween, fall, and I love it. So those are two of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Like we touched on earlier, Disney Channel just like always
Hits
hits the
every
spot.
time.
Yeah.
Always.
Phenomenal. So my first movie, which is very like fall, and also I feel like maybe in one of like the later episodes this month, we'll talk a little bit more about like specifically like spooky and Halloween-ish movies, and not just like, because this episode has a lot of like fall in it, plus a few spooky things. So if you guys want to hear us talk about like just spooky stuff, let us know, and we're happy to do it. So
Definitely.
let us know your thoughts. But for the fall vibes, I feel like Little Women is like such a great
I have
movie.
to watch it.
You haven't seen Little Women?
I've been wanting to watch it. It's like I have a saved TikTok
I
collection
have one of those
that's
too.
like things I want to watch, and it's like all the
Yes.
edits from Little Women, and I'm like, ah.
Yeah, you need to
I have
watch
to
it.
watch. I will.
I watched it when it came out in theaters, and then one of my recent trips to LA on the flight home, they had it on the plane, and so I watched it again, and I
That's
literally was
fire.
crying on the airplane. Like we're just sitting there, and the people next to us are like, "Hello," and I'm just like sitting there like.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
And then I feel like this is basic, but obviously Harry Potter. Like
I agree.
I'm not even like a massive Harry Potter fan. I enjoy the vibes of the movies, and I feel like you just can't go through a Halloween without watching at least one Harry Potter movie.
Oh
And
yeah. I've only seen like 2 of them. I'm a fake fan.
I honestly, I don't think I've seen all of them either. I read the
Yeah.
first 4 books, and so
Oh,
I've seen all the
wow.
first 4 movies. It was like a while ago. Like
Yeah.
before I was like even a huge reader, I read all the books. But I got bored halfway through the 5th one, and that's usually when I stop my rewatches in the movies too, because I usually get bored halfway through the 5th
Yeah.
one.
That's valid.
And then so you love like the Disney Channel movies, right? I love those too,
Yeah.
but my personal favorite children's Halloween movie is Spooky Buddies.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't like have you seen any of the Buddies movies?
I feel like maybe if I like I'm like my brain is like blanking right now. So if I see like a clip, then maybe I'll be like, "Oh yeah."
It's like the little dogs, the 5 golden retrievers, and there's like
Oh my
yeah.
god, yeah. They're
I
so
love those movies.
cute.
They got put on Disney Plus like last year, and it was the best day of my life. I was so happy
They're
when I could
so
see that I could watch
cute.
them. But I watch Spooky Buddies every single October. It's a tradition.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's
I have
such a
to get
fun
on
movie.
that. They're so cute. I think I've seen
They're
like
so
one of
cute.
them, but I know what you're
Probably.
saying.
And then last movie, I don't know if this makes sense, but something like makes me think that Hunger Games, like all of the Hunger Games movies, I feel like dystopian movies in general, I like to watch in the
yeah.
fall. Not necessarily that they give fall vibes, but I just prefer to watch them in the fall.
It
So I
just
have
like
to mention
fits
it.
into that season. Like
Yeah.
it fits into fall.
If you haven't watched like the 2010s dystopian movies, what are you doing? They're
Get
so
on
good.
it now. I also have a movie to add that I can't believe I didn't put on, like Twilight. Like Why didn't I think of Twilight? Like, Twilight is all the fall vibes, especially like I feel like the first one is just first and second one very fall, but Twilight.
I've never watched Twilight like all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces
Really?
of each movie.
I've seen the first two.
I tried to watch the first one when it was on Netflix for like that random 2
Oh
weeks
yeah, it was
or
on.
whatever. And I like it just didn't hold my attention. Like I need to try again. Like I watched like part of the one where she has the baby and it's like you imprinted
I
on my
haven't seen
baby,
that.
and that one I was just laughing like so hard.
No, like it's just the way they act is like not like comparing it to Vampire Diaries, like I hate to do that, but like it's very different. Or like Twilight compared to any other movie, like the acting is just very like bland. Like the show like the
Yeah.
movie's bland, I feel like.
It's not even like on the actors. It's just like what?
It's
Like
just
the
a
vibes
very
are
like
there.
slow show, I feel like. What am
Yeah.
I
If
saying?
you
Movie. It's a slow movie.
if you're watching Twilight, I feel like it's for the vibes. Cuz the vibes are
Oh
there.
yeah, the vibes
The
are
vibes are
there.
definitely there.
So definitely recommend Twilight as well for a little fall rewatch or new
Maybe
watch.
I will try again. I will try again
Yes,
this
try.
fall. Quickly, I want to talk about some of my favorite books that give fall vibes. I have but like I never really read for the season before this year cuz like this year I got really into like watching booktube and book talk, and so I feel like I'm reading books that match the season, but before I never did that. So it was very hard for me to come up with like titles that made me feel fall vibes. So most of them
Yeah.
aren't like specifically fall books. They're just books that like I feel like you could read in the fall, you know?
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
my favorite books of all time are The Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. So freaking good. It's totally giving fall vibes. It's about like six characters and they like are trying to complete this heist, like this impossible heist, and like there's like magic and it's a fantasy book, and I feel like fantasy books definitely give fall vibes. So, if you haven't read that yet on its own, you should definitely do it, but if you're going to pick a time to do it, I would say fall is the best. And then also a fantasy book that's really good is the Cruel Prince trilogy. Really good. Also fantasy that gives fall vibes, I would say personally. Definitely A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because, you know, it's like she's solving this mystery. So I feel like that's definitely spooky season vibes.
Yeah.
And there's 3 books and it's being turned into a series on Prime. So if you
Woohoo.
want to watch it too. And then finally, this book is like a dark academia setting. They speak in Shakespeare a lot, so it's kind of confusing and it takes a lot of brain
I
power to get
hate
through.
that. I
It takes a
can't stand like
lot
reading
of brain
that.
power because like I mean I had to read some pages like 5 times over, and like halfway through the book I just gave up, and when they started speaking in Shakespeare I just didn't read it and I just skipped to the next page where they were talking like normal
No,
people
like
because I
literally
could not handle it. Like
I don't
trying
know how
to
they used to write like that.
like trying to figure out what the meaning behind a sentence is when it's like when they're speaking like that, I like my brain hurt. But if you have the energy to get through it, If We Were Villains, I think it's by like ML Rio or something. The fall vibes are so good. It's got a murder mystery. If you can get past the headache of the Shakespeare, it is a good book.
At least the fall
So
vibes are there.
the fall vibes are
That's all
so
that
there. They're in like
matters.
and I think it's like a university or something, and I don't know. It's like really big dark library vibes. I don't know. Candles lit everywhere. So
I like that. So again, I'm not a big reader, so I don't really have any fall book recommendations. So we're going to jump into songs, like fall songs that would be on our like fall playlist.
yes.
And I know this one is very popular and it goes for both of us. All Too Well by Taylor Swift, 10-minute version.
Yes.
And I just want to add, I meant to mention before, it's not a show or anything, but the music video, I
Oh,
watched
for
that
sure.
like in the fall. Like it's just the perfect fall like short movie. So if you're looking for a cute like fall vibe, then go
Oh
watch
yeah.
that on YouTube right now.
I mean, there's literally a version of the song called Sad Girl Autumn. So
Mhm.
like that's just further proof that All Too Well is the fall song.
Exactly. It's like the fall song, I feel like.
I feel like it is. I agree.
It is. Yeah, and I think any Twilight song is giving fall, like Roslyn. I think that's how you say it. Very
I think so.
popular song. Yeah, it's in Twilight. Like, it just gives like cool, like fall evening vibes. I love it. So We Fell in Love in October is such a good fall song. It's very popular on TikTok. I'm sure some of you have heard it, but if you haven't, go listen to it because all the fall vibes are there.
So for me, obviously, like we were talking about, All Too Well 10-minute version. I also feel like of Harry's albums, HS1 or Harry Styles is definitely like the most fall album by him. Like all of the songs on there, like they either have like a rock undertone kind of feel or like they give off I don't know how to describe
There's
it.
something
And
about it. I know what you're
something
saying.
about it, it feels fall. Like I can picture myself like walking through like walking on a sidewalk and there's like leaves falling around me. That's the album that I would be listening to, you know?
Aw, I love that.
And then to go along with All Too Well, I feel like the entire Red Taylor's Version album is one of her most fall albums. I just feel like every song on there, like Begin Again, Red, they just all give fall vibes.
Yeah, Taylor
I feel
Swift
like
is really good at fitting that fall aesthetic
yeah,
in music.
we just need to like compile how many times we say fall vibes in this episode.
No, literally. So if you've been counting, let us know.
Let
Because we
us know.
probably said it over 20 times, but
But like how else do
everything's
we
giving
describe
fall
something?
vibes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's just what it is, okay? That's just what it is.
It is what it
It
is.
is what it is. And then also Evermore, I definitely think is very fall vibes. She's wearing a flannel
Anyway,
jacket on the cover, so I mean, that's definitely it's on the wall behind me right now.
yeah.
Plus, I feel like that's the album I'm listening to a lot right now by Taylor Swift. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna listen to a specific Taylor album and not just like my general Taylor playlist, I'm going for Evermore right now. So
I support that. Yeah, I don't know what album this is in, but Cardigan by Taylor Swift. Is that in which one?
that's in Folklore.
Okay, Folklore, that's what I thought. So, Cardigan, again, this song, like, I listen to it and I instantly think of fall. Like, the tone of the song, like, everything about it, the lyrics. I don't know, just everything is giving fall.
And I mean, you wear cardigans in fall, so it's
Yes, like, it just makes
makes
perfect sense.
sense.
And then I listen to a lot of Lana. She, again, just her music is so fall.
Her voice just sounds fall, you
Yeah,
know?
it's beautiful. Like, so if you haven't listened to Lana, like, go listen to it and please tell me that you think it sounds like fall.
Yes.
Because, and like, I'm not going to say the song, but it's Norman Bleep Rockwell. Very fall song, I think, in my opinion.
I was like looking through my playlist trying to like see what songs made me think of fall.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the other ones that caught my attention was Written All Over Your Face by Louis Tomlinson.
Such a
I
cutie.
feel like all of the songs where the artist like sings a little bit like in a lower tone almost and like has a little bit of like a rasp to their voice, that's fall. And Written All Over Your Face, like it's fall.
Yes.
That's the 100th time I've said that, but that's just what it is.
We're going to keep going with it.
And then to go with like spooky season, a song on Evermore that's like one of my all-time favorites since the album came out, No Body No Crime. No
I haven't
Body
heard
No
it.
Crime. It's so good. It's like my go-to song. Like if I'm reading a thriller of any kind, No Body No Crime is 100% on the playlist for that book at all
Yeah.
times.
I love that. I just had to add this in, but I like we're doing this like to give you guys a guide of our fall music, but I'm also like grabbing so many things from Addison like to listen to and to watch.
Yes.
So I just had to add that. Like I love it. I'm going to be listening to like the songs I didn't listen to now.
And then to go along with, like I said, like a lot of books have like pre-made playlists. Like if I'm reading, like for example, right now I'm reading the Naturals series. If I go on Spotify and search up the Naturals, it'll come up with a playlist that another person made with a bunch of songs that made them think of that book. And like I said, No Body, No Crime is always on the thriller playlist. But some of my like favorite playlists for when I'm reading is just like a general one that's not for a specific book. And it's just like reading vibes or like one of the ones I have saved is like reading with a cat on your lap. And I feel like all of those consist a lot of like Lana, Taylor, Harry, The Neighborhood.
Exactly.
And
The Neighborhood.
I feel like The
Yes.
Neighborhood is very fall. The Neighborhood
Very
is very fall.
fall.
But all of those playlists, they're like, I don't know. I feel like reading gives fall vibes.
It
And
does.
so the general reading playlists have a lot of fall feeling songs on them. So, like, I feel like the playlist I'm gonna be listening to the most this fall is just the one that I have saved that's, like, reading with a cat
Yeah,
on your lap.
reading.
Because even though, like, the songs obviously aren't, like, related to a specific book, it's just all songs that feel like reading by
And
a
that's the
fireplace with
best.
the leaves falling outside.
I love fall. Like, everything about it's just so good.
So good. So good. Even though it's, like,
But
super hot outside in Florida right now and our leaves don't turn red, I still appreciate it.
yeah, no, you got to. But I also one more song I wanted to add was Gravity. It's in the Vampire Diaries actually. It's when Stefan and Elena kiss for the first time, like right outside of the
Yes.
house. Holy fall. Like everything
Holy
about
fall.
it. Sarah
I
the
like that.
singer, holy fall. Like she's a great singer and she just I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. The song gives fall vibes, like the lyrics and everything, like the I don't know, you just know what I mean. Like listen to these songs and tell
Yes.
me I'm wrong.
I feel like a lot of the Vampire Diaries soundtrack would fit that too because like we said,
Yes.
Vampire Diaries is a
It's so
fall feeling
spooky in
show.
fall, yes.
So all of the songs, especially from season 1, are gonna give fall vibes.
Yeah, and that's like the first or second episode? Like
Yes. I think it's the second.
yeah,
Like crazy.
amazing song.
My final addition is gonna be Phoebe Bridgers. Because guess what? I'm gonna always listen to Phoebe Bridgers when I'm reading, and therefore it also is going to fit under the fall category because everything just kind of fits together, you know?
Yes. She has like such a calm, like nice voice. And I feel like, yeah, as we were saying, like the lower, like calmer voices are the ones that like, oh, this reminds me of fall.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like fall is like a very peaceful season.
It is. And like the smell of fall. I know it's not like that in Florida, but in Pennsylvania, it's very crisp.
I'm picturing it in my head.
Yes. I'll send you pictures.
Thank you.
Of the leaves.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Okay, so that's pretty much it for all of our fall favorites and fall things that you have to do. So
Yes.
if you want to follow our Fangirl Guide to Fall, then go watch, listen, and read all of these things and let us know what you think.
Let us know.
your
Yes. Maybe
opinions.
we'll put like a little Instagram Q&A box up after this episode goes up. Like let us know if you agree with these or if you've listened to any of the songs, watch any of the shows. We'd love to know.
And if you have a favorite fall show, book, or song that we did not mention, send it to us and we can check it out and let
Please.
you know if we like it or not.
Yes. And we can do a whole nother episode about that too. Like as we were saying, like stuff about spooky vibes, like just let us know. We're big on like hearing from the people because we want to
Yeah.
include
We
that
say
in
that
our
every time, but
episode.
like
Yes.
seriously, like we want to hear from you guys.
We're for real
So,
about it.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it for this
That
episode.
is our fall guide for you
I
guys.
hope you guys enjoyed. We definitely had fun doing this. So,
Yeah. We'll see you guys
All
in
right.
the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.